What's going on, people? Y'all see that? Y'all see that scenery? Just be my life sometimes. Come on, get on up in here. Brother be up in here just chilling, man. This is where this is where I'll be coming at. I can walk down here, I can drive down here. I usually have my mother's handicap sticker. But just out here chilling, man. You got people, walking around. What's going on? What's going on, people? You see that scenery right there? Black man out here just chilling. See that water? You got a bunch of people out here blowing. Right, that's a nice view, huh? It's dope, huh, bro? Yeah, let me see. Let you see the whole thing, man. This shit right here. What's up, Rock? How you doing, brother? Yeah, this be my world right here, bro. I stay over this way. I've been over here, man, for the last 17 years, bro. Ever since I got out the penitentiary. And I salute the brothers from Carson, California, man, because they looked out for me when I first came home, bro. Not nobody from my old section, but the brothers from Carson, California. Them brothers, they hooked me up, looked out for me, gave me a job, made sure I had a car and everything, I found me a place over here in this marina, and I've been here ever since. I done moved around a couple times up in here, but this is my stomping ground right here. This is where I be at, maintaining my discipline. Now, I don't worry about nobody walking up on me, Hennessy. To be honest with you, I don't never worry about that right there because, there's a saying, you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. But I don't think in that type of aspect. I've been a civilian for the last 30 something years, so I move like a civilian. I pay taxes, I abide by the law now, that it made me a believer. So, I'm not shackled behind the hood politics, or I'm not shackled behind anything, that's gonna make me look stupid or be shameful just because I'm just a normal dude now. I don't portray to be the toughest individual. I don't portray to be the hardest individual, but I know my skill level, and I don't put myself in harm's way, and I'm not trying to put nobody else in harm's way. So, this scene right here, you have a lot of people out. You still have a lot of people out here, even to this very day. If I get out and walked around and show y'all this place is nice out here. You can sit out here. You can sit out here. You can chill. This whole area is different. But I'm just telling you guys, it's like, it's not just gonna be just this area. I'm trying to tell you, watch in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 years, Watch how the United States ghettos be. It's gonna be so diverse. It's gonna be unbelievable. Everybody gonna be able to walk everywhere because you guys got to understand the technology now is immaculate. It's like you're gonna have, it's like at the top of the light poles and stuff like that. You're gonna have cameras everywhere. Cameras gonna be everywhere. They're gonna be monitoring cameras. They making smart homes. They doing all type of stuff, man, to the society, bro. So you just basically ain't gonna be doing. You ain't gonna be able to do too much of nothing. You know. Yeah, gentrification. I don't know why people don't see it, and it's just like I told dudes, man. I say, man, that gang culture is a dying breed, and if it still is around, it's gonna be like a rainbow coalition. You're gonna have blacks, whites, Hispanics, Asians. It's gonna be a rainbow coalition if it's still around. But gentrification, it's going down for sure. Without question, it's going down. I don't care what nobody say. But that view is nice though. It's dark up in this joint. Let me turn that back around. See, they out here tonight. Yeah, they smoking. You know, I don't knock them for doing no smoking. Yeah, they smoking, man. Hennessy, what area you in? You over here? You in this area? West LA? Watts? Oh, you in Lamert Park? Didn't they have something over there today? Oh yeah, that's what they doing. They doing they gonna do Nixon Gardens like that too. They gonna do all them projects like that. They gonna do everything like that. They gonna bring them white. They gonna bring all type of people up in. That's not the white folks. It's like economics. If you have a job and you can afford, it's like affordable type stuff. Yeah, that's what they gonna do. And them white girls playing that music. That's crazy, huh? You see how hip hop have changed everything, changed the culture. White folks out here even knocking that stuff. That's crazy. This right here. Y'all know where this at right here? Anybody? You got to know where this at. I don't know. I don't even know that brother, bro. To be honest with you, sincere, I never met that man a day in my life, bro. I don't know nothing about that brother. He don't know nothing about me because the stuff he says about me, bro, I laugh about it a lot, man, because I know he don't know me. You know, the man said I was a crackhead. The man said 600. I live 600. Bought me a condo, or I live with 600. Man said all type of. That man has said so much stuff about me, bro. I just laugh at him. But you gotta understand, bro, that they rock with that dude Big U. So Big U must have lied and told him some stuff, bro. So And that's what it is. If you ever read the book, The Art of War, then the first thing about Art of War, bro, is to assassinate a brother's character. Man, bro, I've been out here since for 17 years, bro. 600 stay in this area, but he don't stay next door to me, bro. I've been out here way before 600 was out here, bro. I met 600 2 years ago, bro. So you know how that go. Yeah, I've been to Merced. Yeah, you see, sincere. I've been out here, bro. Since 2008. I've been staying out here since 2008. So it's impossible for the man to stay next door to me, bro. So I don't know where he get his information from, but alhamdulillah. I don't like I said, I don't know that brother. I can't say nothing about that brother, man. I don't know where he getting his information from. I don't know that man, bro, at all, man. So I just don't, man. And I don't speak on things I don't have no knowledge about. I just don't know that man. You know, you know how it is, man. When people don't like you, they talk about you like a dog, even though even if the truth or it's not the truth. So I don't, and be honest with you, bro, I don't give a shit. I don't care. It ain't gonna stop me from doing what I gotta do. Yeah, it's content for them, man. But you know what, though, bro? I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. You see how that dude got unalive in Vegas? It's sometimes people have thin skin. See, I don't have thin skin. You know, I'm not no insecure individual. So when you making content on other individuals, bro, you have to be mindful. You have to be mindful on what you're saying. Because some people just can't take it, bro. I don't give a shit. Nah, man, I can care less, bro. I care less, man. I don't give a shit what nobody talk about. They just, you know what, man? They talk about dudes all day and every day. I mean, it's like, and then you got some stupid people. They'll believe, what another individual is saying about another individual, and them people don't know nothing. That's why I be laughing at, dudes be talking about stuff in my era, and I just be like listening to them. I be like, man, you dudes don't know nothing, man. Right? You don't never know. See, and that, what the cold part about it is, bro. It's not if you have family members that be on YouTube or be on the internet and stuff like that, and they see that um certain individuals are saying certain things about your loved ones and stuff like that, you don't know who people's families are, bro. And that's dangerous, man. That's dangerous in itself because people don't know. So it's like, man, and people put themselves in harm's way like that, bro. And it's crazy. But hey, me personally, I don't care. You know, I ain't no killer. I ain't finna do shit to nobody. Ain't nobody finna trick me off the streets, man. Just because they sitting there running, masturbating at the mouth. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I do not care. Yeah, man, that stuff is dangerous, man, for some brothers, man. Cause I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. Sometimes, man, some brothers and sisters, man, they let their emotions override their reason and logic. Did y'all guys see that with that brother, man, that he killed that girl on live stream? I don't know where they was from, but he got mad about that girl. He was using the girl and she was doing something that man. He killed that girl so fast. His emotions got the best of him, man. He unalive that girl, man. I was like, wow. So man, words are hard, bro. And when you sitting there, you talking about somebody, man, and it be like a pressure, it be pressure. And that pressure of, it'll bust a pipe, man, to the point where somebody will straight lose it. Do you know how many brothers that's in the penitentiary when I was up in there, bro, that was up in there and caught murders because dudes called them a buster, a punk, a coward, and et cetera, over words, bro. And you know me, I'll sit there talking to them brothers, man. Um, and I asked him, I said, "Hey, bro, why you in here?" "Oh man, this dude called me a buster. Woo, woo, I had to do this." I said, "Are you a buster?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, why would you do something to me? You're not a buster." I said, "Bro, that's stupid." I don't know where Big Tabbo is at, bro. I don't know. Assalamu alaikum, Aki. Yeah, she was egging that man. She was on that man bumper. She was talking shit to him, trying to embarrass him all on live and all that old type of shit. And she went straight, man. My goodness. Right. That's crazy, man. Yeah, it don't make no sense. Yeah, it don't make no sense for even people be doing some shit like that, man. You know, life is too precious, man, for you to just to sit up there and let some woman. Hey, bro, he let that woman trick him off the streets, man. You can tell when brothers be players or brothers be real dudes, man, because we don't get emotion when a woman's sitting there ranting and raving. You know what I would have did? Me personally, what I would have did, I would have walked out. If she was talking like that, and if I couldn't deal with it, was tired of hearing her mouth. I just would have walked away. And then if she was doing something like real faulty, like that, you know what I would have did? If you want to when you want to get back, all you got to do is just boss up. There's several ways you can get back at a woman like that, bro. You can boss up, you can ball out, you can be the one that got away, or you go fuck her friend, or go fuck her sister, or something like that. You go do some shit like that. But I, I just wouldn't. I wouldn't have done shit to him, man. He tricked himself off the streets, bro. Oh, he killed himself. Oh wow, that's crazy. Oh yeah, yeah. He was a coward for that, then, bro. We don't do shit like that. You know, man, ain't no poutine that ain't no poutine in the world. That good, bro, for a brother to sit up there. I'm just saying, Hennessy, I wouldn't do it now, but I would. When I was younger, I would do some shit like that. If I was like 21, 22, and a woman got on my nerves and she did some faulty stuff to me, I would have done something like that. But right now, I just don't do it. It's too many women out here. It's like women got us, like the men, the real men, outnumbered. Like you guys got us outnumbered like shit, damn near 20 to 1 now. Because you got all these dudes batting on the other side. You got all these down low brothers and stuff like that, man. So so it's like it's like, man, it's too many of them out here, man. It's like a free for all. It's like ain't no way in the world. Ain't no way in the world, man. I would have took myself out over no woman, man. No way. I wouldn't have done nothing to her. Exactly. So there's what I believe in, and what a lot of brothers believe in that's Muslims. We believe that the men are the maintainers of the women, right? And there's a sewer, like a chapter that's basically deal with the women. Yeah, Space Ghost went over women too, bro. That's crazy. Yeah, I remember that. Space Ghost went, man. Hey, bro, I'm telling you, man. The key of success is maintaining your discipline and maintaining your emotions, man. Your emotions can be high at one time and they can be low, but it be to the point, man. You just got to think in critical terms, man. It ain't never worth it. I don't give a shit, man. Ain't no man and ain't no woman worth, man. It's too much going on out here. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You know what? That brother, man, he don't have it all right now either, too, bro. I talked to him a couple of days ago, man, and you can tell he don't, something is bothering that brother. Something is bothering him for sure. Yeah, something bothers Space Ghost, man. It's unfortunate, man, that had to happen. A lot of sisters, man, then died by the hands of men, bro, and vice versa. Yeah, man. Yeah, I know Space Ghost. He stayed on 11th Avenue, bro, around the corner from me when I was over there. And he was a damn fool. A lot of dudes didn't want to fight that brother though, for sure. But he was off his rocker. You know, down solid individual, bro. I watched that man go in that crip module with a whole bunch of Hoovers and held his own, bro. I'm talking about for sure. And he was the only one up in that joint, man. He wasn't backing down from nobody. You know. Yeah. Yeah, but he's doing okay though, man. What year was that he was in accounting? What year did he go to jail? I know he was in 48. I know he was in 4800, bro. Let me see what year. I think somewhere in there. I think 85, 86, 87, or something like that. It had to be one of them years. I know he was up in there for sure. Bro, when you a person and you come from that particular era, bro, your enemies know who you are, bro. And there's always be a respect level across the board for everybody that was a joint, bro. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that history right now. I don't know about his history. I just knew he was from 90. I know it was a 90 Hoover. I don't know if it was he was 90 Hoover or not. I can't speak to that. I just know that it was a respect level, man, for him and for the Hoovers and him, and it was a respect level for the gangsters and him. Um, it's like, bro, like I said, man, when you a joint and from your section, it regardless of you where you from, if you was out there, brother, in the field like that, you had a level of respect. Dudes had a level of respect for you, you know. And if you was in the county like that, sometimes dudes are they'll trip on you when they with their homies, but when you by yourself, they're not gonna trip on you, you know. So it's like, man, it's like that's why, man, when I was always up in that county, bro, I used to run into a bunch of gangsters and they was joints, and sometimes, bro, I used to be outnumbered. I was on the road, bro, in 1984 in Able Road, and it was just me down there, and it was like 10 gangsters on the road, bro. Monster, Slowpoke, Diamond, both of the Chicos. It was a bunch of them dudes down there, bro. And man, I was up in that joint. I was on that road by myself, bro. I was going to the day room with them dudes and everything, man. And yeah, we had clashes up in there, you know. And it was a story, man. I'm gonna tell it too, but it was, man. I'm telling you, bro. It was like to the point. It was like I was isolated on the. It seemed like I was isolated up in there, bro, because at any given time they could have tripped out on me, man, up in that joint, bro, for sure. They did push up on me one time though, and I was in the day room. And when you be in that day room, even though I was strapped with a knife and they was strapped, I couldn't go nowhere. You understand? So if I couldn't go nowhere, I wasn't gonna sit there and holler and holler for the police or nothing like that. So I just had to stand my own, put my back against the wall, and I was like, man, hey man, it is what it is. I'm from where I'm from. So, but what they didn't do is, bro, they didn't push, they pushed up on me, but they didn't make no moves. Alhamdulillah for that. And I'm gonna tell that story though, bro. It was man, that was a cold story, bro, because that right there let me know that at any given moment you can get caught, and you don't have to get caught slipping. You can get caught outnumbered, and you can get done up if them dudes don't have no mercy on you, bro. For sure, for sure, bro. You can get done up in that joint, man. Diamond, his son, Tiny Diamond, went to school with him. He's straight. Oh, you went to school with him? Yeah, right, right. Yeah, Diamond was a joint, bro. Diamond. I'm telling you, man. They had see, it's crazy, man, because Slowpoke, Slowpoke, and football was up in there for killing Kid and Kimbone, right? You had a couple of brothers up in there from our section up in there had murders on their homies, and we was all in that joint. It was crazy, man. Everybody, had some coasters had murders on Hoovers. Hoovers had murders on coasters. Everybody had hot ones up in there, man. That stuff is crazy, man. Yeah, bro. I'm grateful I made it through that era, bro. And to be honest with you, I don't wish that, all that right there on nobody, bro. That era right there, because I'm gonna tell you, man, them dudes in that county jail back then, bro, them older dudes that always was coming from the pen, they was always swole and big. Hey man, them dudes was straight predators up in there, bro. They'll find somebody weak. If you like from a set that's like, say for instance, the big sets like Hoover's, the Coasters, the 60s, the Gangsters, and then you got like other different little small sets, and stuff like that. You have the Grape Streets, they big. You had the Comptons, they huge. But you had like little bitty sets coming in there, like Trey 57s and the Pomonas, and little bitty sets. And if they catch you up in there, bro, and you weak, oh man, bro, oh my God, man. Hey man, them dudes, man, I feel so sorry for some of them brothers, man. I used to be hearing brothers scream at the top of their lungs, man. And that's like a bad situation to be in, man. I'm telling you, bro. It's like horrifying. It's like, man, dudes, man, they was up in there, man. You had straight predators up in that joint, man. Dudes was raping dudes, bro. Dudes was beating dudes up, tying dudes up, man. That shit was just inhumane, bro. I'm telling you, man. That you talking about some scare straight type shit, man. If them kids need to see some scare straight type shit, they need to see some shit like that. Man, I'm telling you, man, that shit was crazy, bro. And the only reason, and I was 18. No, I was 17 and a half. I said I was 18 so I wouldn't go to the juvenile hall. But when I first walked up in there, bro, I looked up in there, man. I walked through that road gate and I seen all, Tweety Bird from 7'6". I seen all these big dudes. These dudes was big, bro. Yeah, I ran across a lot of West Covina, brother. West Covina neighborhoods. Yep. Spook, all them dudes, man. That's my partner, Spook, Big Spook. Um, hey, bro. And the only reason I didn't tell the police I was 17 because I seen Big Snoop Dogg. And once I seen Big Snoop Dogg, I was like, okay, I'm cool. But man, it's still though, man. It was just a different animal, bro. Because you didn't go, you was on in the module, you got fed in the day room, and you had day room up in there. You were just there. You couldn't get nowhere up out of there. Yeah, Big Snoop. Yeah, Big Snoop. Yeah, I was in there with Big Snoop Dogg. Yep. You never heard of Big Spook? Yeah, Big Spook. Yeah, that Big Spook out here, bro. He out right now. That's my boy. Straight soldier. Out here doing good. I'm telling you, man, it's see, I trips off when I be hearing the stories about the county, about these youngsters. They be saying they be taking like 4 or 5 fades. I was like, man, man, what fade? We never used to have to do that, bro. Unless it was just like a mini ride or something like that. But going up in there lining up for fades, nah, mm-mm. You wasn't doing that. You wasn't. I'm gonna tell you what you wasn't doing. You wasn't going up in there disrespecting nobody from nobody hood, bro. Nobody. And if you did, you was gonna get DP, bro. We didn't hardly didn't run into no bloods up in there, bro. All the bloods back then, bro. They was all on the main line. In '84, they was all on the main line, bro. All the bloods. And then they started getting big as the years started going by. They started getting bigger. Then they made them a module called 4300. But all the bloods was always on the main line, bro. Back then, they just isolated the Crips, and we had like gray jumpsuits. So if we went to court, everybody had on blues, but if you a Crip, you had on a gray jumpsuit, so you could not be identified when you was up in there. I'm telling you, bro. I be like, man, these dudes talking about running fade. You ain't running no fade up in 4800, man. If you ran a fade up in 4800, bro, it was just like a squabble or yeah. I was on the streets in 1990. Yeah, I was there. I was on the whole 1990. Yeah. Um, I'm telling you, bro, it wasn't no phase, man. You was more scared of getting DP by your own homies for doing stupid shit than your enemies because you had to go back to the section if you did some stupid stuff in that county jail. And then back then you couldn't do stupid stuff and go back to the section. So when you was up in that county, it was like a pecking order. You was in rank and file, bro. You wasn't going up in there doing no stupid stuff. You was going up in there fighting your case, going to the pen, or you was going home, do your little county leg, and you was just going home. You wasn't up in there doing no stupid stuff, bro, for sure. Nobody from no sets, bro. It was a straight respect and order up in that joint, man. It's not chaotic like it is right now with dudes talking about I'm running all these fades that dudes sticking carrots in dudes' ass and shit like that. Nah, bro. Now dudes was getting their ass took, but all that extra stuff, nah, bro, they wasn't doing no stuff like that, man. And then the homosexual activity, man, especially with the dudes. And I'm not talking about the booty bandits. I'm talking about like the regular dudes. That was frowned upon. You couldn't do that up inside the county or outside the joint, man. They look down on that, bro. The members look real down on that, bro. They frown on that because that dude. First of all, he was on death row, right? Um, he was on death row. Nutty, how the big Nutty ain't got off yet if he was in the pen. First of all, he was on death row, bro. Okay, so and they did get at him up there. Little feet and them, they got at it. They got at the boy, but now he's in Folsom somewhere, probably on a PC yard right now because there's no more death row. So they moved everybody off death row and moved them all different pens. So he's down there in Folsom right now. And you gotta understand, like I said, bro, them SMY yards, ain't nobody gonna do nothing to nobody over there if you told or something like that, bro. You know that they try to blow Nutty head off in the section, but he had on a bulletproof vest. I'm talking about they emptied the clip on the boy, and he still came up out of that joint alive. So Nutty was a keep away. So um, last time I seen Nutty, I seen him We was in high power in the county. I was on my way to the pen, and he was on his way to the pen up to on death row, and that's the last time I seen him. Yeah, yeah, Big Smoke home, bro. Yeah, that's the brother. That's the last time I seen Nutty, man. That's the last time I talked to him. Yeah, I know Fat Rat. Yeah, Fat Rat was a cold man. That big old nigga, bro. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Fat Rat, bro. Man, Fat Rat wasn't playing no game. You can go in the cell with that brother, man. Which bone? Which bone you talking about? Hey, Powerhouse. That boy Fat Rat, I don't know Bone from Athens, man. Maybe he can compare nose, but he probably I think Bone is older than me, bro. If I'm not mistaken, yes, he's older than me. Um, but I know that um like Bone is older than me, bro. So I just know that I never met him. I just know of him. He's from Athens. He probably know about George, Nutty, but I don't know Bone. Yeah, I know. Yeah, come on, man. Who don't? Come on, straight from the gate. I know that brother, man. Stop that. Stop playing. Um, Big Phil. Yeah, I know Big Phil too. Yeah, I got stories about Big Phil too, bro. For sure. Man, Big Phil was a beast, man. Big Phil wasn't playing no games, man. I mean, none. From my understanding, he out here too. Back then, him, Tim Cornegate, all them brothers, man. Baby, uh, who else over there, man? Them brothers, man. I'm telling you, bro. It's like this, bro. Back then, you just couldn't talk. You couldn't just be no talk or talk the talk, bro. You had to walk it. You had to demonstrate that whatever you was on, bro. You had to demonstrate it. It was like you was being like dudes was being separated in crews. Like you on this level, this dude on this level, this dude on that level. You just levels, man. And if you wasn't with the business back then, you subject man to being very, very, very real, real, real danger, bro. Back then, you know, because you got to understand, man. Like I always tell people, bro, when you dealing with that type of culture, everybody have a lane. A lot of people are not good at the full package. When I say the full package is like a brother would get up in your ass, he will squabble you, he know how to get money, and he know how to be a homeboy, and he know how to represent his section. And then you have dudes that know how to fight, be a homeboy, know how to get money, et cetera, et cetera. And then you have dudes just know how to get to the bag and be your homeboy. It's just different levels, man, to that stuff over there, bro. When you dealing with any section, because everybody don't have that umph in them. But one thing you got to understand though, bro, if dudes don't have that, if dudes aren't being on lot, they still be your homeboy, bro. Your big feel is a real one, bro. So irregardless if a dude is on the bottom, the dudes out the section should always protect that individual, even though he don't have that particular type of skill set. So that's the way it's supposed to go. You don't supposed to sit there and just basically just try to just mess over him just because he can't do this and do that. Man, it's a lot of brothers, man. Powerhouse is a lot of brothers, man, that had them big names, But when they got to the penitentiary, bro, without they homies, straight busters, man. Straight busters, bro. Without a pistol, they straight busters, bro. And it's funny, man, because it's like when you go to jail and you get isolated with some of your enemies, I'm talking about like on a one-on-one basis, you really get to know who dudes really are. I'm talking about they just straight person. You know what I'm saying? You get to know who they are because they open up to you, they talk to you, and be like, oh man, this dude, man, I thought this dude was like, this and this and this and that, but the dude he wasn't really they wasn't really built like that. They was going, they were just going on a reputation. If your name is ringing at one time, man, it's like it just ring. Let me give you an example, like big crazy D from A Trade Gangster, right? When I first seen Big Crazy D, he just always just looking crazy. He was just always sitting there looking crazy at you, and just looking crazy. Man, I got to know this brother, man. Me and this brother was like next door to each other in a module. And it's like my cell was it was a module because we was all in high power. Me and him was in high power at first. Me and him was on the same row in high power. So they made a module for the Crips where it was like 4600, where they took us all to 4600. It was me, it was Huron, it was Peen from 30s, and then it was me, and then it was Crazy D, and then it was somebody else. But me and Crazy D cell was next to each other. Man, me and Crazy D, bro, used to sit there and talk for hours, man. And once I got to know that brother, man, you can tell, man, that dudes be just like you, man. They just be just normal individuals, bro. We just play a part, we just represent different sections. Um, we just be on some other stuff, man. Uh yeah, they were some cold brothers, man. I know all them brothers, bro. Them some cold brothers. Um, and it's like, man, like I say, once you get to know a brother as a human being, you look different than that, the brother. Cause I used to always ask Crazy D, I was like, hey, bro, why you always looking crazy, man? Why you always looking like that, man? Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, that's my buddy, man. That's my partner, bro. I got real close to that brother, man, up in there, man. It's unfortunate. I had a murder at that time too, but I beat mine, and he was still up in there on his. And they went to the pen. I know that whole story. One day I might speak on that, man. I know that whole story from what happened, the transaction from the boy BJ and everything, man. And it's like, and that's a cold. That's it's cold, man, because it's like one action is the reaction is a domino effect that basically make everything go bad. You know, People get killed, brothers lose their lives. You know what I'm saying? To the point where they got to go to the penitentiary for you don't know how long, just behind one action, man. One action, man, was a domino effect, man, and it cost it affected so many lives. And back then we didn't see it like that. Back then we was always riding on our emotions. And but when you get up in that pen and you get to, sitting down and thinking, he be like, man, did I do that stupid shit? And you know what? It's amazing because if you can talk to brothers and you can be like, hey man, that was man, why you do that, man? That was stupid. And if brothers recognize that it was stupid, that brother had made start making a transformation. Because sometimes brothers be like, man, I don't give a fuck. You try to put on that persona. Nah, bro, you did some stupid shit, man. Yeah, it be temporary emotions, man. But them temporary emotions, man, can fuck your life up. Straight up. Yeah, them temporary emotions, man, it'll mess your life up, bro. For sure. Yeah, I'm gonna break that story down one day for y'all, man. Me and that brother, man, we used to talk about that stuff all the time, man. You know, And like we all go through stuff, man. We all do stupid shit, man. You know, it's just like, man, I'm telling you, bro, it's crazy, man. And it's a trip on how we be enemies of each other. Where you in with big? What do you mean, bro? Come on. Hey, straight from the gate. You need to stop that, bro. Um, it's crazy. You know what's crazy to me? It's like, say for instance, if I used to be from '60s, and then you have the A-Trade gangsters, you have the Hoovers, you have the Coasters, you have all the other sets, all the Crip sets, you have all the Bloods, right? And we all enemies. So if something like somebody do something to one of us, we'll man up and try to go back to their hood and do something to them, and et cetera, right? But we have a bigger gang and a bigger enemy that's govern all the neighborhoods. And when they come over there and do something to you, you don't want to do shit to them. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have that same energy for them. They'll lie on you and put you in jail, right? They'll mess around, they'll put you in the back of a car and drop you off in another hood and do some stupid shit like that and leave you there and tell you to get home the best way you can, right? They'll do that. Or they'll whoop your ass, you know what I'm saying? And then when they come to the hood, brothers run. Brothers get on their horse and they run. But when another brother look like me and you come to the hood, you got pistols drawn, right? So when you got your pistol drawn against a brother that look like me and you, but when these other individuals come over there, you scared to pull your pistol on one of them. Ain't it a fair playing ground? You see how psychological, man, messed up our the mind of that shit is over there, bro. Well, who was said was the deadliest in your time? Hey man, them seven folds and them eight trays, them sevenfold hooves and eight tray hooves, them dudes with the business. That's because they was more closer to us. That's why. Hey, Cimarron, you always missing something, man. You always on my boy. Yeah, I know, baby Waco, bro. Yep. So, man, that's why I say, man, that stuff is, man, it's like always selected, bro. Black Dog, AKK, homicide. Yeah, I knew Black Dog, bro. Come on now. You know I know Black Dog. Yeah, the police is the biggest gang in LA. So it's like it blows me away. Like you brothers don't have that same energy for the biggest gang, but they have energy for their own kind. They have that energy. They have that tough energy for their own kind. That's crazy. I know straight from the gate. I know the brother, man. Come on, bro. Stop it. I think you asked me that last time. He was all our loved ones, bro, from over there. So that just blows me away, man. It just like, man, it's just crazy, man. If let me see. I thought y'all had a lot of funk with the 5 9 and the five. Not really, bro. We didn't have no. I'm telling you, bro. The Hoovers. We didn't have a lot of We didn't have a lot of funk with the 5 9s in the five deuce Hoovers, bro. To be honest with you, though, bro, we didn't. It was the eight trays and the seven folds because the eight trays and seven folds allies with the gangsters. So We really didn't, but we really didn't. We really wasn't focused on the Hoovers like that, bro. You know, they one time we was, but throughout our whole, our whole stay, nah, bro, we wasn't. Nah, bro, we wasn't on focusing on the Hoovers like that, bro. You know, and the Hoovers wasn't focused on us like that, man. They was focused on the coasters or the 9-0s or something like that. Um, Let me see how many years I was down before I took Islam. Let me see. 92, 93, 94, 95. 5 years. 5 years, bro. Well, that's a good thing, man. He saved your life, bro. What made me go to Islam? Oh, bro, I was just up in there. I was just trying to find my way, bro. It was like, honestly, man, I got tired of being around the brothers in my section because they was always into something, and it really didn't have nothing to do with me. Every time I went to the yard, they was always in some bullshit and putting brothers' life on the line, man, over some stupid shit like $10 or they're just doing stupid shit, man. And when you up in that penitentiary, bro, at some point you gonna feel out of place. And I just at once, so I just start feeling out of place, man, because the vibe wasn't right. All the negativity. So I was just up in there just studying books, reading books, black books, the art of war. I was just up in there reading and studying, brother. So I just started going to Islamic service. And first I was like always skeptical of what they was doing, and because you still had brothers was striding the fence, so to speak. And then one brother, man, that was like really firm in his conviction, he started breaking it down to me, brother, and was like basically was like, man, no, I didn't have no encounters with no soft lows, bro. He was just breaking it down to me like where it's levels, and certain brothers that were still trying to eradicate certain characteristics about their demonstration. So that's when I knew, and I just started studying and started studying and studying. Then I started studying the Arabic, and once I started studying the Arabic, and I really knew how to study the Arabic, and I knew how to read and write it, and then I was more comfortable that what it was. In the Holy Quran, I didn't find no contradictions in the Holy Quran like I was doing in the Bible. So that what made me convert to Islam, bro. I was just trying to find my way, and I just found my way like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Our generation thought God was Jesus was white and all type of stuff, bro. So he said, "Cool." It took 5 years before I cut everybody off, and I did like 8 myself. Yeah, bro. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Inar Shari, and how many brothers you came across? And brother, hey, brother. Um, the whole penitentiary now is in Narshari, bro. Um, the brothers that I came up under was in Narshari, and at that time it was just a handful of brothers that was in Narshari. But now in 2025, dang near all the brothers up in there are in Narshari. We follow the household of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that's how we came because we felt that the Sunnah Akawal Jamaat, it was like the high a lot of the high t a lot of the hadith, they was like had a broken chain, and they had a lot of wahhabism. It had like this Christian type watered down type, compassion type attitude about itself. So we wasn't rocking like that, bro, because we come from a era, a background where we have to stand for something. And then a lot of brothers that was Sunnis up in there, they be want you just be like, have a concept like the Christians, like turn the other cheek. Say for instance, if somebody do something to one of the brothers, yeah, Monte Cody was my name, yeah, my generation, yeah. Um, and we just wasn't with that. We wasn't rocking like that. Yeah, Monte Cody was before me, bro. I think Monte Cody was like the second generation. I'm the third generation, but I met Monster Cody on the street. Uh, I remember Monster Cody when he got out of Y. He came on 10th Avenue. He came on 10th Avenue, and he got it was me and F Bone, and he came out the passenger side of the thing, and he was standing like this on the thing, and he looking at me and F Bone, and me and F Bone looking at each other because we don't know who he is, right? So we were like, man, cuz who are you? They got Monster Cody. Me and F Bone put out our guns, right? And then Monster was like, shoot, nigga, shoot. And then T Bone came with like trying to tell me and F Bone to get the fuck out of the way, run and shit like that, right? And me and F Bone, we young, bro. We young. We looking at that dude, bro. We was looking at that dude, brother. Was like, we ain't finna run from this dude. So he Monster, he was like, hey, gangster. Um, wait a minute. Mike doing okay, bro. He out here. Monster said this 8 tray gangster, and me and F Bone we clocked our nines, and then Monster got up out of there. And then T Bone got mad at me and F Bone and told us, man, y'all don't know who that nigga is, and we were like, we young, bro. We don't care. We that was be honest with that was if we would have got at the dude, that was a strike for us. If we would have got at the dude the way we wanted to get at the dude, man, because Monster was somebody from over there, bro. But at that particular time, we didn't do nothing to Monster, man. And then I met Monster. Um, he shot my little brothers in the ass, and then me and Monster went to jail probably about the same time, and I met Monster in 4800. That's where I met Monster at. We was on the same road, and I met Monster, and I got to know who he was as a man. You said, "Is there anything I would have done?" Yeah, yeah, Eric, yeah, little Ed boy. Is there anything you would have done differently while you was doing your time? Yeah, brother, I would have never went to jail. That's the thing I would have did differently. I would have never did no damn crime to get my ass up in there, bro. Because I'm telling you, bro, no, I don't wish that on nobody. I don't think nobody should be up in there, bro. Man. You know what the cold part about it is, bro. You know what I realize is though, you have to go through stuff in order to elevate to the individual or the person that you are today. You know what I'm saying? If I would have never went through that, I probably wouldn't be the person I am now, bro. You know what I'm saying? If y'all can understand what I'm talking about, because you have to go through some type of trial and tribulation, brother, for to get you to understand, man, that I was spared, so to speak. I think I was spared when I went to jail. I was spared, man, because we was out there in them streets, bro. We was wild, bro. I'm talking about wild, man. We was out there being real, real wild, being reckless, no sense of direction, none of that stuff, bro. And we even had kids at that time, bro, and we still wasn't slowing down. So I believe that we were spared, even though we had to suffer, you know, um, being in that penitentiary like it was. But you can go inside and you can conquer that environment, or that environment it'll break you, you know. And a lot of brothers, man, that has a strong back and a strong mind, they're gonna conquer it, and it's not gonna break them. So that's what we did. I made sure it didn't break me, bro. Right. You have to go through something, bro. You know what I'm saying? In order for you to appreciate on what's going on in life, bro. How long I've been on here, man? I've been 60 minutes, man. I'm gonna get up out of here, bro. Hold on right quick. Yeah, you brothers, man, sisters, have a good night. Hey, Cimarron, I know who you is, bro. I know who you is now. You know, I had to do a background check on you. I had to tap in. You know, I know who you are, brother. But you brothers have a good night. Assalamu alaikum.